Jordan Warfield as a permanent part-time employee for planning and motion to make that one. So, second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. We also had a request for the employment contract for assistant golf course superintendent Joshua Kopasik.
Pops.
So, we have a motion for that.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. That will appear on tonight's agenda. We have one other item on committee of the whole, and I'll turn that over to Chief Caldwell.
Thank you, Mr. Stow. We have a need for replacement of 4 positions within probably the next 6 to 8 weeks. We lost one captain yesterday through retirement. I've got another one that will be gone right about the first of the year. I also have a lieutenant that has retired, and I have another lieutenant that will be retiring shortly after the first of the year. And just for the sake of council, I guess for the benefit of council, I want to kind of go over a little bit how we got to where we are staffing-wise. I know money's tight, and I know coming in for replacements is sometimes a tough decision. Prior to 1990, the fire department had 21 line firefighters, 7 persons on each shift, 3 shifts. We did firefighting only, no medical service at all. In 1989, we proposed a 0.5% income tax increase to hire 12 paramedics and start our EMS system. That was approved by the voters, and that put us to 11 per shift, 33 total personnel in order to run a medical service and a fire department. In 2000, there became a need for us to do full-time EMS transport, and we also, at that point in time, found the need for a 3rd fire station. In 2000, we proposed a 2.3 mil charter amendment. It's a property tax, permanent property tax. We promised 15 firefighters, paramedics, a 3rd station to be built, and a new fire station too. It also gave us 2 dispatchers, and we instituted full EMS transport. That put us to 16 per shift once we got the 15 hired. And this is the minimum required to meet our pledge to the voters on 2 separate occasions, what we pledged to do. We currently accept all that tax money. We've been operating 2 positions down. We were able to acquire 5 positions through a SAFER grant, which covered 5 of our salaries for 2 years. I realize those are over. First and foremost, I want to put forth how strongly I feel about replacing these. I think as long as we are accepting the levy monies from both levies, that these positions need to be filled. And second, we have our ISO rating on the line here. We've been working 10 years diligently on that. We're currently between the evaluation phase and the publishing phase, and the number one factor in that ISO rating is staffing. So I just want to stress how important that is. And that's all I have. If you have answer any questions.
Any questions for Chief?
Yeah, Chief, these would be considered probably managers, captains, and lieutenants that are retiring, or
the captains and lieutenants are retiring. The replacements would be at the entry level pay. They would be at the bottom, maybe firefighters. I'm also requesting 2 promotions to captain and 2 promotions to lieutenant. That's on here as a separate item, but in that, once our captains and lieutenants retire, let's say one's already gone, it's roughly $1,500 a year to promote to that next rank. It costs $1,500 a day if we have to cover them with overtime. So it's very cost effective to do the promotions once these people retire.
A question for the mayor, guys. At the administration's position that we should replace these firefighters before hiring 4 new police officers.
It is my position that we need to replace these firefighters as well as continue our efforts to address the staffing needs in the police department. And to echo what Chief Kaba said, there were promises made to the voters of this city in past years, and all other administrations, including my own, have honored those promises, and I don't intend to be a mayor that breaks that promise to the voters that was made in the past.
When we applied for the SAFER grant, somebody's going to have to refresh my memory. Did we intend to keep the position staffed after the grants ran out?
There was no requirement to keep those particular people from the federal government. Essentially what we were able to do was acquire financing to pay for those for 2 years. There wasn't a federal requirement to keep those people on afterwards.
I recall, and I guess my memory's never been the best, but I recall being told that we would, after the grant money ran out, we would go back down those 5 positions to attrition.
I never told you that, I don't.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I don't remember either.
I'd like to go through the minutes. I mean, I've heard this from other people as well, and see exactly what our council's intention was back when we applied for the grant, to see, before we vote on this, to see exactly what we did back in 2009.
I would, for authorizing the hiring of 4 additional firefighters, correct?
Correct.
Regards promotions for captains and lieutenants, which both fall into play here. Us delaying promotions would cost us more money. Correct.
Especially going into holidays with double time pay, absolutely.
So we would have to basically make the promotions and then not down the line be able to fill in, correct?
Correct. We honestly can't keep going the way we're going with these vacancies. We need those 4 people. We will still be 2 people short of what we promised the voters. Those positions are still in our structure, but we'll be 6 people down when these 4 go. That'll put us into overtime every day.
Mr. Lowe, Chief.
Any new hires, are they required to be EMTs?
They're required to be paramedic for their full tenure as an employee here.
Okay, so any new hires as a firefighter will also have that capability?
Oh yeah, that's part of the job description.
Okay. And so here, I thought I was sitting on the other side when the grant came through, and I thought I remembered that it was due to help with economic downturns, and the discussion was that by the time it ran out, hopefully the city would be back in a position to either keep those or it'd be eliminated through attrition.
Well, I just wanted to remind council that we did make a pledge to the citizens on where we would staff. You know, I believe those positions need to stay in the fire department.
Can I strongly echo Chief Cabo?
Is that pledge within the charter amendment or the ballot language or whatever it was, or is that something just was said in the newspapers at that time?
I've actually got the flyer that we went door to door with our pledge. I've got all the minutes from all the committee meetings. I can get that to you if you like.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's pretty
It's something we didn't plan to look into before tonight's meeting, but I think it'd be good for everybody to look at before we make this pretty big decision.
Any other comments, questions? I'll entertain a motion to move this out of committee of the whole on the council this evening for both items. So moved. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no.
No.
Item will appear on tonight's agenda. Anything else come before committee of the whole? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Move second. All those in favor of adjournment say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. I'd like to call the council meeting November 21st to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Pabana?
Here.
Mr. Razor?
Present.
Mr. Reel?
Here.
Mrs. Bednar? Here. Mr. Costello?
Here.
Mr. D'Antonio? Mr. Loudon?
Here.
Would you all please rise and swear in the pledge of allegiance to the flag?
Yeah, I thought this would be fitting. It's hard to believe that we're only 1 week away from Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Day dawns nigh. In front of stores, Salvation Army volunteers and workers are taking their places. They are ringing bells, seeking donations for those less fortunate. On leaving the grocery store, our cart is filled with the bakings of our annual feast. We stopped to tuck some cash into the familiar red kettle. As we greeted the bell ringer, she smiled and with cheerful eyes wished us a happy Thanksgiving in return. Though times are tough economically, today millions across this great country will gather with family and friends to share a hearty meal. Our house too will take on a new life this Thanksgiving, where our family and friends come together to cook, eat, talk, and laugh. Amid fragrant smells of roast turkey and sweet potatoes, we'll join hands at the table to say a special prayer. It's what that day means. But I believe that giving thanks must be more than a simple prayer. We must find it within ourselves to truly appreciate the gifts we've been given, then give it to others in return. Thanksgiving is living the gratitude we feel in our hearts. May you relish the Thanksgiving meal and cherish the company of those who gather with you, and may we all share our many blessings. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have before you minutes of the council meeting of November 7th. Vote with pleasure. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. Minutes have been approved. Read and communications.
I have a proclamation from the mayor expressing appreciation to Howard Carruthers for his many years of service. Whereas the city of Stow has had the honor and privilege of having Howard Carruthers first as an employee who worked very hard as the head mechanic in the service department, foreman of the parks department, and foreman of the building maintenance department, and then as a very dedicated volunteer. And whereas, fortunately for the senior residents of Stow, Howard took on a leadership role, serving on the Stow Senior Citizen Commission for 10 years, and assisted in the opening and renovation of the present Stow Senior Center, and also the 2 prior locations known as the Senior Resource Center. Whereas Howard Carruthers also has given of his time to the Stow Historical Society since 1980, serving as the president, recording secretary, vice president, and treasurer. And whereas Howard's never ceasing energy and commitment to the senior population led him to the Stow Sunshiners, where he served on the executive board as the president and vice president. And whereas his devotion to the Graham Road Baptist Church is very evident, where he has served as an interim pastor, deacon, and trustee, treasurer, and much more. And whereas Howard and his lovely wife, Laverne, are the proud parents of 2 grown children, Michael and Joyce. Now, therefore, I, Sarah Drew, Mayor of the City of Stow, Ohio, do hereby urge all citizens to join me in the expression of appreciation to Howard Carruthers for his many years of service, making a better life for our senior population.
Thank you. I have to say, for folks who have not had the chance to meet Mr. Carruthers, he is truly a gem. And he has been so wonderful to the city of Stow, as you all have heard, in so many different capacities. He will no longer be serving in his official capacity on the Stow Senior Commission, but I am confident and hopeful that he will continue to serve the city of Stow in many other capacities and continue to be involved. And I have really just enjoyed getting to know him over the years, and it is truly my privilege and my honor to be able to recognize his years of service tonight, and I hope you all join me in doing so.
Mr. Carruthers would like to come forward.
It's around where I can see everybody. It's been a pleasure for me to have been in this city before it was a city. I came to the city of Stow, and the sign on Graham Road, or on Hudson Drive, north of Graham Road, said, "Welcome to Stow, population 2,600. I have seen it grow to where it is today. These people sitting up here, I thank you for your consideration of being an employee here. I know a lot of you. Some of you, I preceded you in employment, and I enjoyed working with you all. It was not my intent to get involved in the senior program in order to get this. It is a privilege. As George Johnson would say, and bless his soul, he'd say, I are one. I'm a senior, and I'm proud of it. We have a fine facility here in Stow. The administration has gone above and beyond to see that the seniors have something to enjoy. We do in our senior center over here, and I would like for you to take advantage of it. I think if your consideration today, and I've got some fan club back here that I have worked with, they have tolerated me. I'm losing my voice, and, but it has been a privilege to work in the city of Stow, and I thank each and every one of the administration and everybody for your consideration. Thank you.
Mr. Carruthers, on behalf of the council, we would like to thank you also for all of your time, effort, and dedication to the city. Mr. Bach has something he'd like to say.
Howard that's an impressive volunteer resume. I think that it probably would take 10 people to do what you've done. And we truly appreciate that. Not only is Howard a great volunteer, but when he does volunteer his time, he's right into the trenches with everybody. He's very implemented, very much involved with the moving of the schoolhouse and the historical society. But like I said, he isn't just a name on a plaque. Howard, you walk the walk, and we really appreciate that.
Anyone else? Mr. Barron?
Thank you. I had the privilege of working with Howard as in his historical society, and also when he was an employee here for a short period of time before he retired. And if you want an example of somebody that gives back to the community and appreciates what the community has done for him, you have to look at Howard. He does a great job. I think this is the most I heard him talk tonight because he comes to our board meetings for the historical society, and he said he's right straightforward to the point, and you know where he stands on it. And I think people should take him as an example of what really some cities need, what Stow needs, with volunteers to give back to the city and to the civic environment within the city. Thanks, Howard.
I have a proclamation by the mayor proclaiming November as Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest cancers is the fourth leading cause of cancer death in the United States, and is the only major cancer with a 5-year survival rate in the single digits at just 6%. And whereas symptoms of pancreatic cancer present themselves, it is in the late stage, and 73% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first year of their diagnosis, while 94% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first 5 years. And whereas the incidence and death rate for pancreatic cancer are increasing, and pancreatic cancer is anticipated to move from the fourth to the second leading cause of cancer death in the United States by 2020. And whereas the city of Stow supports those patients currently battling pancreatic cancer, as well as the loved ones of those who have lost their lives to the disease and are committed to nothing less than a cure. And whereas the good health and well-being of the residents of Stow, Ohio are enhanced as a direct result of increased awareness about pancreatic cancer and research into early detection, causes, and effective treatments for this disease. Now, therefore, I, Sarah Drew, Mayor of the City of Stow, Ohio, do hereby proclaim November 2013 as Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, and urge all residents to recognize the need to bring awareness to the fight against this deadly disease.
Thank you. My office was contacted by a young woman, Alyssa Knight, who, if I remember correctly, is a student at Miami University of Ohio, and her family had lost a family member recently to pancreatic cancer, and Alyssa asked if we would be willing to do something to not only honor the memory of her family member, but to raise awareness and hopefully encourage other families to engage in screenings and treatment options, as well as raise awareness for funding research and things like that. And we were happy to do that, and I believe that Alyssa is here this evening to accept this proclamation. She is.
I just wanted to thank you all. This is just, my grandma passed away only 7 months ago, and since then I've been trying to raise awareness and support not only for my family, but all others affected. So this is such a kind gesture from the city, and I really appreciate that.
Anyone on council? Want to say anything? Lisa, we'd just like to pass on our condolences. And yes, pancreatic cancer is one of the number of lists of items that we would all want to see disappear from the face of the earth. Okay. For those of you that were here for your commendations or awards, if you would like to leave now, I'd be more than happy to let you do that. I would also like to make known that with Ms. Bednar's concurrence, we will be holding the Marhofer legislation. Mary, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Costello. A few quick items, all holiday related. First, although it's in reverse chronological order, let's talk about Christmas. And I'm someone who really believes you shouldn't talk about Christmas before Thanksgiving, so I'm breaking my own rule in doing this. But everyone may have noticed as you walked in the display of miniature Christmas trees in the lobby of City Hall. The City of Stow has partnered with the Dane Foundation to put a Christmas event on here at City Hall on Sunday, December 8th in the afternoon. The trees that you see are purchased, decorated, and donated back to the Dane Foundation by individuals and organizations. And if anyone is interested in doing so, you can get a tree and information from our City Hall lobby area during business hours. The Dane Foundation supports individuals and families living with a disability and have been very involved with our Disability Commission. And so this seemed like a perfect spot to host an annual event that the Dane Foundation has taken in the past to other communities, and we're proud to have them in the City of Stow. So feel free to bid on the trees if you see one that you'd like to purchase for your own home. All the proceeds from the tree auction do go to the Dane Foundation, and if you're feeling decorative and festive, you're also certainly encouraged to purchase a tree, decorate it, and donate it to the cause. Next Tuesday, the 26th at 7 p.m., the Stow Presbyterian Church will be hosting the annual Thanksgiving service. The Stow Ministerial Association is putting that on, and it is free and open to the public, and certainly will be a lovely event. So again, it is the Stow Presbyterian Church next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Finally, I'd like to remind everyone that City Hall will be closed next Thursday and Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday, and wish all of your families a lovely Thanksgiving. And I hope you get to enjoy spending time with the people that you love the most. And that's it. Happy to entertain questions.
Any questions from there? Seeing none. Before I continue with the reports, I skipped a step. So I need to go back and say that now comes the time of the meeting where we ask for comments from the audience. Should you wish to make any comments, please raise your hand and be recognized by the President of Council. You'll be asked to provide your name and address for the benefit of our clerk, because your comments will become part of the permanent records for this council meeting. You will be allowed 3 minutes to make your comments. Is there anyone at this time who wishes to address council? Mr. Zorro.
Paul Zorro, 1577 Graham Road.
I didn't get a chance to make it to the public hearing. Disappointed that there were 3 council members absent from that, because I know how long those people wait to get those public hearings in on Montauk zoning. But I just wanted to say that I do support it. I don't think this is something that's invasive into the neighborhood. There's commercial that surrounds it. I went back there today myself. There's one vacant home over there that is across from the residential properties that are set to be rezoned, appraised at $72,000 by the county. And I heard the same argument when I went to rezone my property about the property values going down when something like this goes in. But I've seen no proof of that at all. From it, during any of the hearings or any of the testimony, nobody can prove how is this going to make the property values go down. You know, the Marhoff family has been good for the community for forever. You know, they've done nothing but good for the community, and to disrespect them by not rezoning this property, when the city in the future can go down Route 59 with an overlap zoning and zone all those parcels in front of those people that he's next to right now in the commercial, and they'll be butted up against these people anyway. You know, I have all the confidence in the world that whatever he does there is going to be good for the community. It's going to be a net fiscal gain for the community, provide jobs and income for the future for the community. And I think something like this needs to be supported, and you need to look at how much proof was given that these property values are going to go down. You know, the neighbors not wanting it is not a reason for turning it down. That shouldn't even be considered, you know, as a reason for turning down a commercial project of this size. I appreciate your time. Thanks.
Cheryl Timchenko, 1970 Thorndale Avenue, Stow. I'm a realtor by trade for the last 7 years in the city of Stow and Cuyahoga Falls. I was 2012 top producer in my office, Prudential Karen Simon. I have experience firsthand selling properties. You know, this one's right next to a commercial property, and this one's down the street from it. And I can tell you there is a difference. And the home the previous gentleman was speaking of that is vacant is owned by Mr. Charles Hinault, who's been here and expressed his opposition. It was the home he grew up in. He's probably in his late 70s, early 80s. He's hoping to move back into it, and he has not renovated at all. It's sentimental to him. But the home across the street from him that was purchased by Marhofer was tax assessed valued at $124,000. The Burleys purchased their home for in the high 60s or 170s. These houses aren't blighted by no means, and there is a difference. I just wanted to make note that I do this for a living, and I'm not just, you know, a crazy neighbor. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, Donnie Vanoff, 410 Silver Valley Boulevard in North Falls. I spoke with Mr. Marhofer about this before the meeting. I videotape school board meetings for those who can't make it, put them on a YouTube website. I started doing some of these council meetings for the same reason. Recently I did a records request from the school board, and I noticed a number that stuck out. It was for Vanderveer Chevrolet. Our school board purchased a 2013 Chevrolet Express van, which Mr. Marhofer can get for the school board. There's no bid. I asked for everything. All I have is an invoice for it and a check warrant. For the school board or even our city to let this happen to a gentleman who gave our school district